Telltale Heart is a short story by Edgar Allan Poe, first published in 1843. It's true. Yes, I have been ill, very ill. But why do you think I am mad? The disease has only sharpened my senses, not dulled them. My acute hearing, in particular, has grown more powerful. I hear many things in heaven, in the earth, and in the hell. I hear many things others cannot. So, how can I be mad? The disease has only heightened my senses, but it has also made me nervous, very, very nervous. I hear many things, but it is the sound of a dull, low, quick sound, much such a sound as a watch makes when it is enveloped in cotton, that troubles me most. I hear it at night, during the long, long hours, when everyone else in the house is asleep. I know it is not the old man who vexes me, for he is never cruel. But every night I hear this sound, and it grows louder and louder. My ears ache with the sound, and I must scream or die. But it is not the old man I want to murder, only his evil eye. He has the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it falls upon me, my blood runs cold. I must kill the old man and destroy that eye forever. You think I'm mad? You should see how cunningly I have planned it all. For 7 nights, I have been watching the old man sleep. Each night, I have been stealthily creeping into his room, careful not to make a sound. And each night, the eye has been closed, for the old man was asleep. But on the 8th night, as I approached the old man's room, my thumb slipped on the creaky floorboard. He stirred in his bed, and I stood still, hardly daring to breathe. I knew he was lying awake, listening, as I was, to the low, quick sound that filled the room. For hours we both waited in silence. I could hear the old man's heavy breathing, and I knew he was terrified. Finally, I could stand it no longer. I threw open the door and leaped into the room, shining my lantern upon the evil eye. The old man shrieked once, only once. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I smiled, for what had I to fear? I had done the job well. I was now safe from the eye forever. But then, there came a knocking at the door, so loud and persistent that I thought the neighbors would surely hear. I froze in terror, for I knew I had to be clever. I had to conceal the body so they would not suspect me. With all my strength, I dragged the bed over to the floor, hiding the old man's corpse beneath it. The knocking continued, and I grew more anxious. The police were here, but I was not mad. I welcomed them in, for I had nothing to fear. I had been careful in my planning, after all. As they questioned me, I felt a growing sense of triumph. The sound in my ears grew louder and louder, drowning out their voices. It was the beating of the old man's heart, and it was driving me to madness. I could take it no longer. I confessed to the crime, shouting my guilt to make the terrible noise stop. But they heard nothing of it. They searched the house, finding nothing amiss. The sound grew even louder, deafening me, and I fell to the floor, covering my ears and screaming my confession over and over. They took me away, for they thought I was mad. But I am not mad. I can hear it still, the sound of the telltale heart, pounding, pounding, pounding in my ears. This is an excerpt from The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, a classic short story known for its exploration of guilt, madness, and obsession.